Come on, let us start the revision of chapter number 4. 2 and 3 we had completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We had completed in our previous class, isn't it? Children, can you all hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
सुनाई दे रहा है आप लोग को?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, we can hear you.
All of you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, children, let's start. Acids, bases, and salts. Chapter 4. Acids, bases, and salts. Now, let us come to the topic, all of you.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Now it's okay, children? Chalo, let's start. First of all, what are acids? Let us discuss point-wise. Acids. What are acids? Who will answer?
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am, can I?
Ankur, that
Ma'am,
is-
can I?
Ma'am, can I?
Can I?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes,
Can
Ankur,
I?
I'm giving you. Others will get chance. All of
Can I
you,
kindle?
all will
Ma'am,
get
can
chance.
I, Ankur?
Yes, Ankur, start. What are
Yes,
acids?
ma'am. Ma'am, chemicals which are sour in taste are called acids. Ma'am, example, hydrochloric acid and nitric acid.
It is not only chemicals, children, it is materials, you can say. Materials, not chemicals. Then, it is due to the presence of chemicals. Clear? Then, next is, what are bases?
Ma'am, can I
Ma'am,
Adhikya?
can I Ridhima? Ma'am, can I Ridhima?
Ma'am, can I
Second
Kinjal?
is Anshika.
Can I Ridhima?
Don't say, I'll
Ma'am,
just
can I
call your name. All
Can
will
I
get
Kinjal?
chance. Let Anshika speak. Anshika Sagar,
Yes, ma'am.
you tell me
The
what
chemicals which have a bitter in taste and
chemicals.
have soapy feels is called a bases. For example, aluminum hydroxide and sodium hydroxide.
Children, I said that don't say chemicals. You say
Ma'am,
material.
material.
Ah,
Material.
correct answer. Then, children, acids are divided into two categories. What are those categories? Tell me.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, mineral acids
Ma'am,
and
mineral
organic
acid and
acid.
organic acid. Mineral and
Okay,
organic.
mineral acid, organic acid.
Mineral acid and organic acid.
Pinjal, Pinjal, you tell what are mineral acids?
Yes, some mineral acids are acids which are formed by the minerals and are present inside the earth.
Example?
Yes, ma'am. Hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid.
Okay, correct.
Ma'am,
Then
may I see organic acid?
no, Manatve is there. Manat will say.
Yes,
Manat.
ma'am. Acid which are naturally occurring and are found in animal and plants are called organic acid. Example: guava contain oxalic acid, orange lemon amla contain citric acid.
Correct. Now, next, who will give me the formula for formic acid? Next name is Divya. Divya Prakash.
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me what is the formula for formic acid, which gives you a soothing pain.
HCOOH.
HCOOH.
OOH.
And which of the sting of which animals contains this formic acid which causes soothing pain?
Ma'am,
What are the
bees,
animals?
red ants.
Ma'am, red ants,
Ma'am, bees, red ants, bees,
Ma'am, red ants.
And stinging of two.
bees, red ants.
Next is Abhigya.
Yes,
Abhigya,
ma'am.
you tell me what is the formula for vinegar and which acid is
Ma'am, the
it
form.
contains?
Ma'am, vinegar contain acetic acid, and the formula of acetic acid is CH3COOH.
Okay, very good. Now, which acid is known as the king of chemicals? Next name is Ridhima.
Ma'am,
Give-
sulfuric acid is known as the king of chemicals.
Okay, you give the formula for sulfuric acid.
Ma'am, the formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4.
Okay, next. Next term comes the what are dilute acids? Now, name is Srishti. Srishti Singh.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, acids having low concentrations are called dilute acids.
Can you explain more about it? Low concentration of what? Explain it properly. Explain it properly, Srishti.
Yes, ma'am. Acids manufactured in the factory highly concentrated. That is the water content is very low. The concentration can be decreased by adding water.
Okay.
Acids having a low concentration are dilute acids.
Okay. Means the water molecules are more in this type of dilute acid as compared to the acid content. Clear? So if anybody asks you what is the difference between dilute and concentrated acid. Who will explain? Rupali, are you able to explain this? Difference between dilute and concentrated acid?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Shivam Raj.
May I?
Yes,
Shivam
ma'am.
Raj, several times I have told you in the class. So you should be able. Shivam,
Yes, ma'am.
bolo. And
Dilute
others, those who
acid.
are not
I-
doing, will listen properly and note it down. Bolo, Shivam, tell.
A acid in which amount of water is very low, is very higher than the acid is called dilute acid. While the concentrated acids are those acid in which water amount of water is lower than the acid.
Yes, acidic content is more, or you can say in the other way also that water content is less in concentrated acid and water content is more in dilute acid. Is it clear? Those who have
Yes, ma'am.
confusion can note it down. In two ways you can write down. Either you write down the acidic content is less in dilute acid and water content is more, and in this dilute acid and in concentrated acid, acidic content is more and water content is less. In the two ways you can explain this. Then next comes your can anybody explain why the Taj Mahal monuments like Taj Mahal, which are made up of marble, are getting yellow? Akanksha Jha. Akanksha Jha.
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me.
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am, it is getting yellow because of acid rain.
Okay, it is getting yellow because of acid rain. Then what is the what makes it yellow? Acid rain contains what? What is there in the acid
Ma'am,
rain?
acid rain contains some gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide.
And they react with the water and they get converted into acid, and that like carbonic acid, then sulfur sulfurous acid, these all are what are the cause of yellowing of marble. Then comes your next topic, that is bases. Bases definition we had done. We will come to what are, as it is related to bases only. So we will say what are alkalis. Alkalis kya? What are alkalis? Now, Gauri.
Ma'am, can I?
Can I
Ma'am,
answer?
can
Ma'am?
I? Ma'am, can I answer?
Can I, Ridhima?
Got na. Let
Can I, Shivam Raj?
Can I, Ridhima?
No, Gauri.
Can I?
No. Those who have got the chance, you'll just wait for your next chance. Gauri, you will say.
Yes,
What are
ma'am.
alkalis?
The bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis.
Okay, example. Why we call it as alkalis? Okay, next one.
Because
Come
these
on.
bases are.
Ma'am, can I say the answer?
Ma'am, can I, Shivam Raj?
I have
Can
said
I,
the name.
Ridhima?
Come on. Just react quickly. And others keep silent in the class. Simon, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Bolo. Why do we call these soluble bases as alkalis? What is the difference between these bases and these alkalis? Explain it.
Ma'am, bases that are soluble in water is called alkalis.
Hmm.
Example, sodium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide.
Hmm. Then you say this also that some bases, all the bases are not soluble in water. There are only some bases which are soluble in water. The right answer will be this. Daniel, What are indicators?
Ma'am, aluminum hydroxide is an alkali.
Ah,
Indicator is a substance which show different color in acidic and a basic medium.
yes, it can show different colors in acidic and basic medium. Okay, then after that, what are the indicators that we use in our day-to-day life? Next
Ma'am,
comes
turmeric
Ma'am, turmeric paper.
Turmeric.
Ma'am, turmeric.
और कोई? Ankur,
or
now
ma'am
it's your
litmus
turn.
paper.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
litmus
hibiscus.
paper.
Ankur और
China
नाम बोलो.
rose.
All the this indicators that we are using in our day-to-day life. जो भी नाम आपके बुक में mentioned है.
Can I?
Ankur's name
Ma'am,
I
can
have
I?
written, so don't ask.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलो.
Ma'am, turmeric.
Hmm.
Ma'am, turmeric and blue. Ma'am, litmus paper.
Hmm.
And then hibiscus and
Hmm.
China rose. And
Hmm.
then China rose.
Ma'am, China rose and hibiscus are same thing.
Both are the same.
Ma'am, phenolphthalein.
Hmm?
Ma'am, phenolphthalein.
Phenol.
Ma'am, phenolphthalein.
Hmm.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the color change is also you all just remember turmeric indicates what?
Ma'am, in which medium?
Which medium? You just tell me that what is the color change in the medium? You just
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
red
in
in basic medium
Ma'am,
and
in
remains
basic
yellow
medium
in
it
acidic
turns
medium.
red, and in acidic medium it turns yellow.
okay. Now Anshika. Next chance is Anshika. What is
Yes, ma'am.
neutralization reaction?
A chemical reaction between an acid and base is known as neutralization reaction. It forms water and a salt. For
Okay.
example,
Hmm.
NaOH, sodium hydroxide, it is a base, plus HCl, hydrochloric acid, it is acid that gives NaCl, sodium chloride, it is salt, and H2O water.
Okay. Now children, one reasoning question. Why do we take antacids when we feel discomfort, tingle in our stomach? Why do we take antacids? What does this antacid
Yes,
do?
ma'am. Ma'am, we takes antacids because in our stomach, when the amount of acids increase in our stomach, we get lots of pain. So that antacid acts like a base and neutralize the base into salt and water.
Acids into neutralizes the extra amount of acid which is present in the stomach. Although acids are already there, hydrochloric acid is there for which is helping in the digestion of food. But we have, when we feel uneasiness because of some food material, or you can say some drinks or whatever we take in our food items, those can cause the increase the percentage of acid in the stomach, and antacid subsides it because of the reaction as a base, and that gets neutralized. Okay, after that, all of you, there are some examples of neutralization reaction given over here. Quick revision. Now, Mannat, just get quickly. Connect yourself quickly. Mannat, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Mannat. Okay. Are you ready, Mannat? Should I speak the question? Bolo. Sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. It gives.
Ma'am, please repeat.
When sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid, which salt is formed?
Sodium chloride plus water.
Very good. Divya Prakash, when potassium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid, which salt is formed?
Potassium sulfate and water.
Okay. When magnesium hydroxide reacts with nitric acid. Now, Abhigya, magnesium hydroxide reacts with nitric acid. Which salt is formed?
Ma'am, can you please repeat it once again?
Magnesium hydroxide reacts with nitric acid.
Ma'am, magnesium nitrate.
Magnesium nitrate and what?
Ma'am, magnesium nitrate and water.
Yes. So children, with this reaction, what I wanted to tell you, that whatever acid we are taking, the salt will be formed on the name of that acid. Clear? ये तो सब लोग जान ही रहे होगे?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then salts of sulfuric acid. Ridhima, what will it be called? Salts of sulfuric acid?
Ma'am, sulfate.
Next, Shrishti. Salts of hydrochloric acid will be called as? All of you be ready to click the answer. Salts of hydrochloric acids are named as? Shivam Raj. Salt of
Yes,
nitric
ma'am.
acids are named as?
Nitrate.
Shivam Raj, mute your mic.
Yes,
Some
ma'am.
background music is coming. Nitrate. Sulfurous acid. Salts of sulfurous acid. Akanksha Jha. Salts of sulfurous acid.
Ma'am, sulfide.
Okay. Salts of carbonic acid. Gauri.
Ma'am, carbonate.
Okay. Salts of acetic acid. Rupali. Salt of
acetate.
acetates. Very good. Now let us come to the properties of salt. Simon, just explain the properties of salt. The next topic we are having, that is neutralization reaction and properties of salt. Next is neutralization reaction and then properties of salt. All have to speak this. Get ready.
First,
Here,
first properties of salt.
huh.
Salts are formed through reaction between acid and bases. Second, most of the salts are readily soluble in water. Third, salt do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, molten salts and solution of salt in water conduct electricity.
Okay, correct. Then after that, Simon was speaking, na? Priyanshu Kumar. Priyanshu, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me what are the properties of salt. This question all of you have to tell.
The properties of salt are: first, salt are formed through reaction between acid and base. Second, most of the salt are readily soluble in water. Third, salt do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, molten salts and solution of salts in water conduct electricity.
Okay, next. Sneha, are you ready? Sneha, do you know the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell.
Ma'am, salts are formed through reaction of acid and base. Most of the salts are readily soluble in water. Salt do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, molten salt and solution of salt in water conduct electricity.
Okay, next. Just wait. Swarnima, Swarnima Kumari, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me
Yes, ma'am.
properties of salt.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. First, salts are formed through a reaction between acid and base. Most of salts are readily soluble in water. Third, salts do not conduct electricity in their solid states. However, molten salts and solution of salts in water conduct electricity.
Okay, then one more name is there. Aradhya. Aradhya, can you speak this answer? Tell me. Aradhya Singh. No response. Janvi. Janvi, are you ready? Okay. Now, who is going to tell me the activity related to that to show that solution of salt in water can conduct electricity? Who will tell me? Solution of
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, can I?
okay, Ankur, bolo. Tell.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in this activity,
Show
we have
that
to show
solution of
that, ma'am,
salt in water.
salts.
हाँ बोलो बोलो.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, solution in salts of water conduct electricity. So what we have to do to take a beaker and fill it half with water, and then add some common salt in it. Then we have to take two graphite rods and add the connectivity means means two terminals and connecting through the wires with, and one battery with a 0 watt bulb. Now we have to dip this graphite rods in the solution. Now the bulb starts glowing because the solution of water and salt is conducting electricity.
Hmm. Then
Ma'am,
what
this
will
much
happen?
only.
What we will conclude?
Ma'am, the bulb starts glowing.
Yes, and this shows that solution of sodium chloride can conduct electricity. Anybody else can try? किसी को और बोलना है ये एक्टिविटी? No. Shivam, Mannat, Kinjal. Why you all have not gone through
Yes,
the
ma'am.
activity?
Ma'am, can I, Simon?
Ma'am, can I?
Simon,
ma'am, can I?
after her.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I, Shivam?
हाँ ठीक है इसके बाद बोलिए. Simon.
Yes, ma'am. Take a beaker and fill it half with water. Dissolve some common salt in this water. Connect two graphite rod with the two terminal of a battery with a 0 watt LED bulb in between. Or LED bulb in between. Now dip this graphite rod in the solution of sodium chloride. The bulb start growing, indicating the flow of electric current. This so that a solution of sodium chloride can conduct electricity.
Okay, Shivam. बोलो.
Can I, Shivraj?
Ma'am, can I?
Shivam. Shivam Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलो.
In this activity, we have to take a beaker half filled with water. We have half filled with water and a common salt. After that, we have dissolve some common salt.
Hmm.
After that, we have to take two graphite rod, dip it into the solution, then connect a wire with battery with a 0 watt bulb. We will see that bulb started glowing, indicates that a solution of salt contain electricity.
Okay. Correct. Who will speak?
Ma'am,
Anybody
can I
else?
say Mannat?
Can I begin?
Ma'am, Mannat.
Ma'am, can I?
Can I respond?
Okay, Abhigya, after that you will get the chance. Mannat, you tell.
Okay, ma'am. Take a beaker and fill in half with water and mix some common salt in this water. Connect two graphite rod with the terminals of a battery with 0-watt LED bulb in between. Now dip this graphite rod in a solution sodium chloride. This bulb start glowing, indicating the flow of electric current. That's a solution of sodium chloride can be conduct electricity.
Okay. Abhigya.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in this activity, we have to take a beaker, half fill with water, and mix some common salt into it. Ma'am, then we have to take two graphite rods and connect them with a two-terminal battery and a LED, ma'am, and a 0-watt LED bulb in between. Ma'am, then we have to dip the graphite rod in the mixture of water and salt. Then we observe that bulb start glowing, and it shows that the flow of electricity currents. With this activity, we will see that common salt can conduct electricity.
Okay, then is Ridhima there? Ridhima?
Yes, ma'am.
Bolo.
Ma'am, could you repeat your question?
Just to show with an activity, the solution of salt in water can conduct electricity.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, for this activity, the material required for this activity are beaker and salt, graphite rod, battery, and LED bulb. Ma'am, we have to take a beaker and fill it with water and dissolve these salt in it. Ma'am, then we have to take two graphite rods and we have to take two graphite rods with the two terminals of the battery, and we have to connect it. We have to connect it with a 0-watt LED bulb, and then we take a graphite rod and dip it in the solution of the salt and water, and then the LED bulb started glowing, and this shows that the solution of salt can conduct electricity.
Okay. Now for tomorrow's work, children, all of you will go through the different types of salt, classification of salt, and all of you will also learn their show test, and the question answers which are given at the back, along with the chemical equation. Clear? सब लोग अपने
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
and we will have written also as well as oral also. Clear? ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, then it's okay. आप लोगों को और कुछ यहाँ तक पूछना है? Have you anything to ask till here? Because I have taken all, do you know and all everything. कुछ और confusion है?
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask.
हाँ बोलो.
Ma'am, how is common salt formed?
Common salt is formed by the reaction of sodium and chloride, although it is present in the nature in the oceans. ओशन में
okay.
जो सॉल्ट हम लोग फिल्टर करते हैं, मतलब that is getting purified and that is also getting iodized by leaving it in the sun, and then after filtering it is just packed and it is sent to our markets. Okay,
Ma'am, then if we put graphite rods in the ocean, then also it will conduct electricity.
Naturally it has got a large amount of sodium chloride. That is why we have salty water in ocean. वो तो होगा ही. There are so much amount, a huge amount of sodium chloride over there. Artificially, if we have to make in laboratory, then we will use sodium and chloride. But that we are getting it from the nature itself. ठीक है?
Okay.
और कुछ anything else? Any questions, queries?
No, ma'am.
ठीक है हाँ anyone कुछ पूछना है आप लोग को? No queries?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
then
ma'am.
thank you all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Have a
Nice
nice
day,
day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice day,
ma'am.
ma'am.